Gamers in game, that's what is going on. My name is Tanek127 and welcome to my beginner's guide for Archer. The reason I'm doing Archer today is because Archer has probably been the most requested class guide I have ever received in an MMO period. A lot of people find this class complex, not too noob friendly, but I'm here to tell you that's really not the case. It's really a lot more simple than it actually looks and comes off of. And honestly, to learn this class at its best, to my honest opinion, I'm honestly going to recommend that you guys fully upgrade its temple before even trying to really school yourselves on like a solid rotation and how things go and stuff like that. Now I'm just going to give you guys my personal recommendation. I'm sure there are multiple ways to play this class because this class just has a ton of abilities, a lot you can do, and there's just so much going on here when it comes to this class. Well, first we're going to do is we're going to talk about these abilities. We're going to go over a few things, and we're going to make it really simple. And I'm not sure what's going on here, but there's a missing ability. My temple's fully completed, but there's still something missing right here. And if you look on my screen as well, when I hit L2, there's a question mark. So I don't know if I did something wrong, if I'm missing something, but I'm going to try and run off of this. I've inquired about it, and the only other two archers I know of were having the same issue, so I don't know if there's like a missing quest or something, or if it's an ability that's just missing from the class right now, or what exactly it is. But we're going to start with your basic attack. Sharpened arrows 2, aka shot, aka single shot, piercing shot, and then arrow storm. So there's three different versions of this. You basically just have the little single shot where you just tap R2, you hit one target. Then the second ability that you have when you use this piercing shot, you hold it a bit longer. As you guys can see, you see that gauge right there when I fire. If I tap it, it's the single shot. If I hold it into the second gauge, it's the piercing. And then if I hold it all the way into the third gauge, it's the arrow storm, which comes and rains down on all targets. Now, my suggestion for openers is starting off with arrow storm. And the reason I say starting off with arrow storm is because of well, if it's a heavy mob, start with arrow storm. But if it's just one single target, I would say piercing or single shot. But then again, arrow storms, abilities, it helps. We'll read this through and see what it does. Restores 10 points of concentration for every enemy hit. Just so you guys know, concentration is that little purple bar in the bottom left corner that says 300. This bar is basically like your MP or mana of this game, except it's something different for each class. For those who don't know, like for the berserker, it's rage. For archer, it's concentration. For lightbinder, it's something else. For paladin, it's something else. You guys get the picture. But for that, you get 10 points of concentration for every enemy hit. Wildfire arrow activates the deadly downpour effect, which increases the damage of the next arrow storm by 500%. This effect can be applied to the same target only once every 10 seconds. So my honest opinion is I would say arrow storm, and then next swap to your electric stance, put down your electric barrier, stay inside your electric barrier because we're going to get to that point in a second. When you're inside your electric barrier, aimed shot, which is basically your basic attack, has 40% more chance to inflict critical damage, while the concentration generation rate is increased 6 times. So basically, and this is probably the only thing about this class that bugs me a little bit, is it kind of encourages you to play close up. Now, for a lot of instances, I'm not going to recommend that, except if you're speed running or something. But in all honesty, the barrier field, what it can also be used for, if you just chill inside there while you're far away, this thing will protect you from mobs and stuff like that, while you can just chill in here and do work. Now, if you're speed running or something, right? Go ahead, get nice and close, because you do have one melee attack, as you can see right there, which I'll explain in a minute. Get nice and close. Go ahead and put that barrier down, and you can get fancy with it. Burn them down with the barrier, fire a few shots in and stuff like that. But here's my honest recommended rotation. Depending on the scenario of enemies, you can use fire shot or lightning. Just keep in mind, using those does eat up your concentration. But put your barrier down, get an arrow storm going, and start hitting these boys left and right. That's my honest recommendation. Now, for the next thing I want to talk about is the siege stance. Now, what siege stance is, and this has a 5-minute cooldown. This is basically the archer's ultimate attack. The archer shifts into siege stance for 10 seconds. The only attack available is Burning Shot, which can be used in siege stance. Archer becomes immune to control effects, but is unable to move. Use it again or dash to terminate this state. Now, siege stance, I'm only going to recommend this on concentrated targets. Now, I know the damage buff and everything is great, but if you're going to use it in a situation where you could possibly get yourself killed, take your time and just slowly DPS down whatever your target is. But siege stance, basically what it does is, right, it's going to put you right here, just stuck in one spot. Now you see the damage and everything's heavily increased. You can't move. He gets on one knee, and you just go you start glowing. You look like Captain Hardass. You're just going nuts. But my honest recommendation, when you're using siege stance, and keep this in mind, put down your barrier. I use my siege stance already, so you guys can't see it. Activate your siege stance. Well, you can't arrow storm a siege stance, but then just fire away with burning shot. And then of course Archer has its finishers and stuff like that when they come up. When you have an enemy low on HP, you'll get things like Deadly Shot, which can inflict fatal damage. Make sure you use that to keep yourself switching between targets as quickly as possible, burning the mobs down as you possibly can. Now, the next ability I want to talk about is Gas Cloud. Gas Cloud is a really good ability. Now, in some instances, depending on your scenario, you want to go ahead and hit your enemies with it. This is how you aim it, just so hit L2 and triangle, and you'll get this little reticle here, similar to the Cryomancer's Storm. You aim it the exact same way. And then when you fire where you want to stick it, you hit triangle. What it basically does is disorients the enemies, slows down their movement for like 6 or 10 seconds. It's pretty much a control effect. So when you have something like that down, you want to go ahead and start your day off right with an arrow storm, hit them up with some AOE damage, and just burn through them. Honestly, also with flaming shot as well. And of course, get cute with a little finisher. But the only thing about burning rapid fire is it can consume concentration. So remember that. You don't want to spam it too much. It does great damage, but it also adds it's also going to add add the effect to your regular shots as well. So anytime you're using that, right, use it once, and as you guys can see, it ate a decent amount of my concentration. Go ahead and follow up with your with your single shots. But also, when you do use rapid flaming shot, right, it has a chance to add what's called ultimate concentration. And if you get a buff of ultimate concentration, then I'll say it's safe to go ahead and spam burning shot, just because it's not going to use any concentration for those 6 seconds. But remember, if you're going to do it, only do it for those 6 seconds, or else you're going to eat your concentration, and you're going to find yourself trying to build that back up. So for my recommendation for Archer, play it at a very safe range away from your enemies, because what it's mainly done for is to, its most common thing about Archer is the biggest purpose of it is protect itself. That's clearly what this barrier is for here. Now a lot of people assume this barrier's main purpose is to toss it in the middle of mobs and just burn them down quickly. If you're speed running a dungeon and it's a place where you can just take a lot of hits, I mean, go ahead, be fancy, and stuff like that. But the main purpose of this barrier is to protect your player. Now, with that being said, right, that's one reason I don't highly recommend this class for PvP. Because, it's more of a ranged, hang back kind of thing. It's not meant, to be up in the action. Like, don't get me wrong, it's okay with burst damage. But the thing with Archer is, it's honestly really an AoE and DOT machine. So, it's not too much about burst damage. It's about, generating good damage over time. That's my personal opinion about Archer. But anyway, guys, I'll be having a more advanced guide later on. Like I said, these are just some beginner tips, so I hope this guide helped you all out. If it did, be sure to smash that thumbs up button for me. And I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. It's your boy Snap127, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out, take care.